Hi, welcome. This is a companion video to a couple of videos actually on my YouTube channel, Revit for quantity surveyors, pre-processing, and BIM for quantity surveyors, keynotes and assembly codes. So this particular video shows us how to add QSIDs or QS work breakdown structures using the shared and project parameters functionality in Revit. Now, in a previous video, we added the QSID or quantity surveying work breakdown structure, in this case the National Standard Building Elements, to an existing parameter, and that one worked quite well because it's available on the front page of the properties. But we also could have selected edit type and added that QSID, in this case is actually in there, into the keynote, possibly even the assembly code, which will then populate the assembly description, or even any of the available parameters in that identity data. This one is a little bit different because what we're going to do here is we're going to add a specific name to our QSID. So rather than utilizing one of the existing parameters, we're going to create one. So click Manage in Revit, then click Shared Parameters. So firstly, we're going to set up a group of, I suppose, a group name, and then put our parameters in that group name. In this case, there's already a parameter group called Classifications, which I set up previously, and then a number of different parameters within that group. This time I'm going to set up a new group. I'm going to call it, let's say, QSID, or even it could be called Quantity Surveying Work Breakdown Structure, and click OK. So now what we do, we have our QSID group name. We're going to set up a couple of project parameters, or sorry, a couple of shared parameters within this group parameter. So let's call the first one National Standard Building Elements, and that's the Irish breakdown structure. Common discipline. Basically, any object that's available in the model will be able to be coded. And the type parameter, select text and click OK. So there's our first parameter. Let's put another one in. The new rules of measurement 1, and that's a United Kingdom or British work breakdown structure. Click text again in the type of parameter, click OK. And then maybe click another one. Let's call this one the International Construction Measurement Standard, and that's going to be a global measurement standard which is just released, that hopes to standardize the work breakdown structure. And again, type of parameter, text. Click OK. So now what we have is we've got 3 parameters within our group parameter. We're going to click OK. Now what we're going to do is assign those shared parameters, which are across, I suppose, all our Revit models, once we assign them to this specific warehouse detail post changes model. To do so, I need to click Project Parameters under the Manage tab. So click Project Parameters. I'm going to add a parameter, and this parameter I'm going to add a shared parameter. Now I could have added straight away those parameters as project parameters, but I might as well use the functionality, shared functionality here, because if I need to set it up again, I won't have to set it up as a shared parameter. I'll just load it straight in. So click Shared Parameters, click Select, and drop down to QSID. So there's 3 available. Let's say I take the NRM1, click OK. There, it's gone in there in terms of the parameter data, NRM1, common text parameter. I'm going to check all the items, and I want them to be coded to show up in my model, and click OK. I'm also maybe going to add, and you'll see it's added there, maybe let's add another one, share parameter, select, again, drop down QSID. Let's take the National Standard Building Elements. There's the parameter data, that's all okay. Check all, again, all my items are checked there. Click OK. And lastly, I'm going to select the ICMS. Drop down, QSID, ICMS Global, click OK. Check all, see that the parameter data is going in, that it's a text parameter. Show all, yes, that's working. Click OK. Click Add. And let's see, has it added those parameters? So let's say, for example, I wanted to code that window. I should have my parameters in here, and they're all available. I've got my NRM UK, I've got my national standard building elements, and I've got my global ICMS. So just like I showed you in a previous video, I can just type in or select all instances in the entire project and then type in, and it'll code that particular element to whatever jurisdiction I'm looking to code. I can also utilize my material takeoff schedule, add a field that includes one of, or maybe even all three of those parameters, and code it through the schedule. Thank you very much.